It's actually considered it's actually considered to be a beginner. Whoa. Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name's Koa and this is Koa's Plant Corner. Today I'm continuing Koa's Plant Care series, and today I'm going to talk about a plant that is one of my favorites. I'm going to say this every video. So it's one of my favorites. It's a plant that's very easy care for me, and it's easy care for a lot of other plant people. It's actually considered to be a beginner friendly plant, and I 100% agree with this. I actually featured it in my 5 plants for overwaterers video. So let me just show you what it is. This is my Neon Pothos, everyone. It's really funky looking on the side, but it actually lives on my shelf above my bed. And if you're familiar with my room tour, I actually did show you this plant, and before it was a lot smaller, and I felt for a while it wasn't growing. And one thing with pothos, people say that it's fast growers. Yes, it becomes a fast grower once the roots are established. I think now it's starting to finally establish its roots and push out new growth and do its thing. It's nice and bushy. Before I say any more about this plant, I'm going to go over the 4 categories that I use to describe or explain to you how I care for this plant. So first we're going to talk about the lighting, the type of lighting that I have it in, whether it has artificial light, grow lights or not. Secondly, we're going to talk about the watering and how often I water it, and the type of water I use, and a little bit of fertilizer. I'm going to try to start including the type of fertilizer that I use for all my plants. Thirdly, we're going to talk about the pot that it's in and why I have it in that pot, and if the plant is okay in that pot or not. And fourthly, we'll talk about the soil that it's in and if the soil is great for it or not. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk about the lighting for this plant. This plant sits on my shelf above my bed, and I have a southwestern window, so in the morning typically it would get a little bit of bright light. During the winter I found, and now that it's summer, I feel like it's getting a little bit less light, but the room is getting brighter, or the room stays brighter longer throughout the day. So I think because my walls are very light gray, it kind of gets a little bit more light from that. And due to it being on my shelf, the front is very nice and bushy and full, but the back is kind of bare a little bit, and you can kind of see the plant is facing this direction because that's the direction that it faced. It looks over the shelf that way, so that's why it kind of looks like that. I don't know if you can even tell, it's a little bit, it's like more full in the front here. I don't have any artificial lighting for it because it honestly doesn't need it. It's a Neon Pothos, it's fine without it, and it looks pretty without it, so I think it's good how it is. So for watering, I water this plant once I notice that the leaves are dramatically droopy. So with most houseplants, a lot of them, before the plant dies on you because it's super dry, it'll droop its leaf a lot. So instead of it being like this, you'll probably see the leaves all go down like that. So this is it being watered, this is it being not watered. You can just kind of tell the difference, and that would be your sign that, hey, it's time to water it. When I first had my pothos, I overwatered it. And with pothos, they can do better with being underwatered, and overwatered as well. Just be very careful with it. But for me, I water it once I see it start to droop, and it works for it. I honestly have no problem with it. And with the majority of my plants, I actually do fertilize them. I use fish emulsion, and I use chelated iron with a few drops of Super Thrive. So I would mix that, with mosquito bits as well. So I have mosquito bits in the water, Super Thrive, fish emulsion, and chelated iron. So I'd water this plant with that once I see the leaves dramatically drooping. And for the pot it's in this cute Pody pot. If you're familiar with Pody, it's a brand off of Amazon. And this one has this cute little mason jar design here. Hopefully you can see that on both sides there. So that's what's going on with this plant. And I kind of chose this pot because I think it was kind of cute. It gave me this mason jar feel or vibe to it with this little wainscoting. I don't know what you call it for pots, but I know like in interior design it's kind of like wainscoting. But I think it's really cute. It's in ceramic, and because it's in ceramic, I have to water it less. So if I were to think about give you a time period, I probably water this plant once every 3 to 4 weeks, honestly. And yeah, it'll get to the point where I'm like, did I water this plant this month? It's honestly fine. I think it kind of helps if you tend to neglect your plants to plant it in a pot a little bit bigger than the root ball, or you know, maybe the 2 sizes bigger, so you don't have to worry about watering the plant so often. So this is what I do with this plant, and it works pretty well. And lastly, soil. So the kind of soil it's in is very relative to a lot of the soil mixture for my other plants. So it's heavy in perlite. If I were to give a ratio, I would say it is 60% general potting mix, 10% orchid bark, and 20% perlite. And I would just sprinkle a little bit of mosquito bits on top and mix it up within the first 1 to 2 inches within the soil. So that's generally what I have most of my plants in, especially my pothos. With the orchid bark, I think the pothos really does appreciate a little bit of a more airy mixture. I believe if it's too airy, then the plant will dry out too often, and that's just not ideal for my plant situation. I have like about over 80 plants in my room, and the easier I can make it for myself, the better, honestly. So yeah, I'm really surprised it's still holding on, because I've forgotten to water those plants like plenty of times, and it's totally fine. But yeah, it's really cute. I love the bright color. It kind of adds a little bit of a pop on my wall, and I have it alongside with my lemon lime philodendrons, the heteroraceum, and I have a Cebu blue plant, and then I also have a philodendron Brazil up there. So the Brazil and the lemon lime philodendron, the same lime color leaves kind of complement one another, and it looks really cute up there. So in the white pots, I'm a fan. Okay, and that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this inspires you to go out and get a Neon Pothos. There are different varieties of pothos, and Neon Pothos are actually one of my favorites. They have the global green, they have the golden, what do you call it? The regular golden variety, they have the jade ones, and Enjoy. They have pearls and jade. There's like a ton of different varieties. But the Neon Pothos, something about that striking green, that lime green color, is honestly my favorite. So yeah. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video with any of your plant friends, and comment down below if you have pothos. I think it's kind of rare in the plant community to not have a pothos, because a lot of times when we start our plant journey, we start with the most simplest or the easy to care plants, or even the plants that are more common or common to come by. And I feel like when it comes to pothos, you would see them at your grocery stores, at nurseries. You kind of find them everywhere you go. So I'm interested to know if you have one. So let me know down below. And thank you all again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.